Hello and good evening. Welcome back to another one of these streams. Today we got a couple of stuff to talk about. Main thing is the big drop that we've experienced today. Everything looked great this morning at like 8 a.m. We reached 99,455. What happened at literally 10 a.m.? ByBit got hacked. Yes, that's right. I don't know, it's a bit coincidental. Might have some stuff to do with what I was discussing about ByBit yesterday. And yeah, turns out they got hacked, got a lot of Ethereum stolen from them. We'll get into all the details of that in just a moment. Market didn't tank too hard as I would have expected because they handled it pretty well, I'm not going to lie. Everybody admits that ByBit handled this whole getting hacked situation pretty well. So, yeah, that's a positive. And, after this shakeout, reached a low of 94,847 for Bitcoin. We're now recovering and on our way back up, currently 96,200, which is not a bad thing at all. Seems like we were so close, like every time, about to hit 100,000 and we just dropped down for whatever reason. People are a little upset about that, but it's whatever. Like my funds are all still safe, doing fine. Did I take advantage of the dip? I don't think I did. Because, to be honest, the coins didn't drop as hard. They're literally back to where they were 2 days ago. Most of them, at least. So it wasn't too significant of a drop. And Ethereum, who is the main, I don't know if you want to call them protagonist of this little event, dropping from 2,800 to a low of 2,615, is now recovering its way back up 2,679. Doesn't seem like it was impacted as hard as it should have been impacted, correct? So, yeah, there you have Ethereum still surviving. XRP is down even more compared to that for whatever reason, although it doesn't reflect as much that way. But I still have, trigger orders on other assets that I do want to DCA into, one of them being XRP, the other one being SUI as well, that I have been trying to get some more of, but it hasn't dropped as hard. We went from 356 for SUI down to a low of 322, currently 333. Yeah, the drops have not been too bad, so at least that is a positive thing. Although the stock market, on the other hand, so I've heard, today apparently was the worst day for the stock market. I don't even know how or why. It doesn't seem like too much of too much going on in the stock market, but still, it's apparently down a lot. Main reason being United Health. I think they're being investigated for their services, United Health. The CEO, remember, he got assassinated by Luigi Mansion. So, yeah, they're under investigation for whatever reason. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the stock market. We're here to talk about Chainlink, which is also down 3.55%. It's nothing too crazy for Chainlink. I'm removing Polygon from these favorites. I haven't updated this list. This is the standard futures list, of course, but I'm not even trading on this account yet because I don't know what strategy to use. Have I been working on strategies? Yes, I have. I've been trying out Grok 3, as I mentioned. I think yesterday I said it. It's out on beta mode, but I think if you go to the official Grok website, grok.com, you can access Grok 3. I don't know how much I can abuse it though, because I'm scared I'm gonna get like rate limited or whatever, which that did happen already with like Claude and ChatGPT. As I was trying to get them to code, whatever strategy Grok would give me, they would run out very quickly, and or like I'd have to wait until like 6 p.m. of the next day or something crazy. So far Grok has been doing all the work for me. I asked I asked ChatGPT to do the code for the backtesting that I was trying, and apparently it didn't do a great job because later it missed a couple of stuff. Although I explained everything as correctly as I could, it still managed, like in the end, to once the code was up and running, it did provide the correct results for the backtest. Although the results were underwhelming, I backtested 1 year of data to get $200 in return, a 33% win rate, 12 trades in 1 year, so like one trade a month. Like that's obviously not a good Not a good strategy. So I'm still working with Grok to modify it, perfect it, improve it, trying to reduce the time frames perhaps, because it wants to trade in like large time frames for some reason, like the 4 hours. It's obsessed with the 4 hour chart. I told it like, no, do something like 1 hour or 15 minutes. I gave it a choice, and it chose the 1 hour, the greater of the two, of course. So now I'm asking it like, okay, hey, I'm actually gonna think I'm thinking of asking it, look, check trends in the 1 hour and trees in the 5 minutes. But then that's just too close to the strategies that I've already been trying out, which they've proven to be all right, but I don't know if I'd necessarily want to automate those yet. I'm trying to use these three indicators over here for entries. I find it very interesting. I also do like the design if I set it up like this. I just think it makes the chart look very clean. And then, I don't know, maybe super trend to identify the trends, of course. So that's the plan. Anyways, there you go. That's the backtest update. Litecoin reached a pretty good high. Yes. No, this is today, this morning as well. Litecoin was popping off, reached 140. And then it dropped to 123. Now it's 128. So there you go. Cardano down 4%. It's still 77 cents. This is a new normal for Cardano now, it seems. Between 70 and 80 cents. It did reach a high of 81 cents today, though. That's pretty decent. But because of this drop, everything dropped. Everybody got scared. Exchanges started doing bad as well in the stock market, like Coinbase. That's another thing I want to show, actually. Coinbase was dropping really hard because of what was happening with ByBit for whatever reason, which doesn't really make too much sense in my opinion. Started dropping right over here. It did reach a high today of 270, literally today, and then it was doing fine till 10 a.m. Then it started dropping to 250, dropped from 250 to 235, recovered a little bit, 237, and the day is closed. And it's a weekend, which this is what's going to be the most painful part of all of this, is that this happened on a Friday. We know that Saturday is not going to be volatile at all. So we're just going to stay flat while down for the weekend, which is annoying. But hey, maybe that's a chance if you really want a DCA. You could find some great opportunities. I heard Solana still pretty darn low. Low of 160 was the lowest point. Not from today, though. Today it was recovering. It reached 180. And then because of this, it dropped to 167. Currently 171. You might find a good chance in Solana. I still think it's a good project. I'm not content with this uptrend. What is going on? Might have to readjust. Oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. That's from the August 5 drop that we're drawing this from. Maybe if I do this, hopefully nobody will notice and it'll look fine. Seems like that is the case. Also, we're not using this low for Fibonacci anymore. We're using this low to determine where could we find resistances. Seems like the next one's at 192 before we reach the 200 psychological level. From there, we can start considering rising. But for now, this is what the price action that we have for Solana. Nice. There's your brief overview of the crypto market. Everything practically following the same pattern of big drop, small recovery due to the news that's been happening today, which, you know what? Why don't we just get into it? Arkham was probably the first to notice this and publish this at 10:35 a.m. They alerted that $1 billion in outflows started happening from ByBit, an exchange that I've been talking about because of what's been going on with the CEO of ByBit. His name is Ben Zhu. Sorry, Ben. And what was I talking about him yesterday? Well, first, Pi drama. There was a project called Pi, which is likely a scam, who's been calling out ByBit for not listing them. Saying, well, they didn't want to be listed by ByBit anyway, and started, this little drama on Twitter. Ben, of course, replied to that saying, no, you're the scam, and we're not listing you. We don't want you anyways. Screw your project. That's basically where it ended. Maybe they're behind the hack now as revenge? No, it's not it. We already know who the hackers are, but we'll get into that in just a moment. Another thing that Ben did yesterday was publicize through API his, to be transparent with the liquidation data. What does this mean? Because the drop that we had over here on February 2nd due to fears of trade war with Canada, US, Mexico, and maybe China, everybody started dumping over here, and it was the largest liquidation event in crypto history. More than FTX, more than Terra Luna, more than COVID crashes, right? And people were saying, oh, there was, what was it, $2 billion liquidated in the crypto market today. Well, Ben looked at that and said, wait, that can't be true. If on ByBit alone we have almost $2 billion worth of liquidations, that can't be the case, right? Obviously, there's other exchanges, there's bigger ones, there's Binance, there's Coinbase. Surely those also have larger liquidations, which means he would estimate the actual total liquidations, instead of being just 2 billion, would be about like 8 to 10 billion dollars, in which, yeah, he was technically right. CoinGlass later on determined, like, yeah, you know what, we were not being fed the proper information, so Ben made a promise to publicize the data, be transparent with it, and publicate all the liquidation data that ByBit has. I'm sure the other exchanges would also have to do that same thing, especially because that's where CoinGlass gets their liquidation data from, right? They would use APIs from these major exchanges to kind of get an estimate as to how many wrecked positions there are in longs and shorts 24 hours. So, yeah. He publicized that yesterday. Maybe I was thinking that there was probably some vulnerability when that information was published, because it's just such a coincidence that the next day this exchange now gets hacked. I don't know. Probably nothing. I do want to draw... I'm just looking at this because I've kept this range, and it seems like we have been in a range for a very long time, and we're probably not going to leave it for a moment. So I'm just going to draw a little rectangle there. And I'm also going to get rid of this. You know what? Move this rectangle up at the 100K mark to there. And draw another one, same position, except I'm going to draw it there, and I'm going to make it green. Meaning that if you want to trade this range, you would be purchasing down here and selling up there kind of deal. Support and resistance level. Interesting, isn't it? Anyways, moving on. To finish with this, or to get started with the big topic, I guess. Yeah, Arkham, they're this huge website that tracks every wallet, basically. They're the main, like, they were the main people who were helping track when Germany, for example, started selling other Bitcoins, or whenever the US department starts transferring test payments over, like, to different wallets and stuff like that, and people are scared that, oh, the US government is going to sell their 200,000 Bitcoin reserve, which obviously would scare people. But yeah, that's what this website does, Arkham. And they've noticed that a lot of Ethereum and ST Ethereum, I think this is from one of their wallets that they have. They call it a warm wallet for some reason, but it's whatever. The funds have begun to move to new addresses where they're being sold, and at that time, 200 million Ethereum was being sold. There's the address, right? Obviously, it's been a lot more that has been getting sold and all that stuff, right? People also started noticing on other scanners, right? A lot of Ethereum being transferred from ByBit to unknown wallets, right? People are been thinking, okay, looks like ByBit hot wallet just got hacked. Though it is a multi-sign $1.5 billion worth of Ethereum was withdrawn to the new address and is currently being sold. That is a lot of Ethereum, guys. Here we also got more confirmation from Zach XBT, who will be a protagonist in this story later on. They say that ByBit's large Ethereum withdrawal is confirmed as a security incident. Most affected funds are METH and STETH, is what they're saying. Which there's just, like, I don't know, different versions of wrapped Ethereum, I suppose. And then they confirmed that $1.4 billion worth of Ethereum was stolen, according to Zach XBT. That was the amount. ByBit reports unauthorized transfer from ETH cold wallet due to, this is what they're saying, is masked UI spoofing attack. but they assure that other wallets remain secure. Okay, so I'm not sure exactly what this means, and I want to look it up. Can we... I'm gonna ask Grok to define what this means. I did not select Grok 2. I want to see what this is. What is a masked UI? What is a man in simple terms? Because I really want to know. The way I'm thinking about this is like a phishing, like a website where you have to put in your login information and you think it's something else, and maybe they put the keys in to their crypto wallet. A fake interface, yeah, it's exactly what it is then. Practically like phishing. Type of cyber attack where hackers trick users by making a website or interface, like a cryptocurrency wallet or exchange platform, look legitimate and trustworthy, but it's actually fake or altered. And yeah, that's how it basically works. Cool. Yeah, so they basically fell for a phishing scam somehow. I mean, so have I before, but whatever. After this, the CEO of ByBit comes out. Ben Zhu says, guys, relax. ByBit is solvent. Same thing that Sam Bankman-Fried used to say. FTX is solvent, always has been. Just, I don't know, that's pretty funny. Pretty funny note. Even if this hack loss is not recovered, all of the client's assets are one-to-one backed, which means that, you know, ByBit would be, they're fine with swallowing a $1.4 billion loss, is basically what he's saying. We have enough money to cover for the client's assets. We're good. But people were skeptical of this at first, which is why the big dump started happening. This is being posted at 11 a.m. Keep in mind, while the dump is still happening right over here, right? I'm showing this in a 4-hour chart, but let me zoom in here. So, like, by 11, sure, things may have calmed down a little bit, but things just kept on dropping, right, as this continued to escalate. So, yeah, people are saying this is awfully resemblant of what SBF, Sam Bankman-Fried, used to say. So they're a bit skeptical and started removing, of course, their assets. What would you do if the exchange where you have your assets has been compromised and you're not sure whether or not your assets are still there? Well, he still kept withdrawals open so that the users or the clients could start, you know, withdrawing their money if they don't feel safe, which fair enough. That's also something that he mentioned. He actually went live to address everybody's questions, which that's a powerful move from the CEO to do, while this whole thing was being, you know, while the hack was taking place, right? He said that the exchange is solvent and all clients' assets are still one-to-one backed following the $1.4 billion hack. It's, then Arkham, of course, kept on tracking all this stuff because they're crazy at, like, tracking all these wallets. Like, the way hackers work, at least the way that I've seen, is, okay, you get it from ByBit's wallet, you hack it into your wallet. Cool, you have all this Ethereum in your one wallet. What are you going to do now? You're going to try to trick people who, like Arkham, I guess, who track all these wallets all the time. They can see everything's on blockchain, right? You can't delete that information or hide it. It's all out there in the public. Sure, it's all masked by a bunch of letters and numbers as the wallet addresses. So what these hackers try to do is they split the money into like 3 different wallets, 16 different wallets, a million different wallets, right? To try to like spread it all out and then I guess sell little by little. The reason why they're doing this is, yeah, sure, it's to confuse the people, is to make it seem like, okay, obviously there's a big transaction being sold here, that's suspicious, and it would like set a red flag or alert other people who are like trying to investigate this stuff, right? So it's kind of like to fly under the radar with smaller transactions. And also, I mean, if they know that this is the wallet that stole from ByBit, what are the other exchanges going to do? They're going to be like, okay, we're going to blacklist that wallet so that it can't put the money on our exchange, other exchanges like Coinbase or Binance, so that they can't cash out. Although it could technically help because, you know, those centralized exchanges do have KYC, know your customer information, right? And that's why those laws are set in place. The KYC laws where, like for example, BitUnix is a good example. There's no KYC required there, but you can't deposit or withdraw massive amounts of money. To do that, you do need to have KYC on there. It's to avoid, like, I guess, money laundering or fraud from these people. That's why these hackers will split all this big money into smaller money in different wallets. Also, because it's hard to keep track of all these wallets, maybe some of the wallets will not be blacklisted, right? So, yeah, that's the logic behind all this. So yeah, he's been transferring out to different wallets, this hacker. And what Arkham has done, because obviously it's very overwhelming, they've decided to create and fund a bounty to help identify the person or organization behind today's $1 billion ByBit hack. Submissions to this bounty will be shared with the ByBit team to support their investigation. And as a reward, you get 50,000 Arkham tokens, I guess this is. Is this even a real token? I have never checked it, so I am curious. ARKM. Come on. Oh yeah, it is a real token. They're number 300. And they're worth 63 cents each token, meaning that they would give you 50,000, 63 cents. You get $31,500 as a reward for this bounty if you can help identify who the hacker is. Cool, good stuff. Benzu later out came out saying ByBit Ethereum multisig cold wallet. So yeah, it is a cold wallet. That's ST Ethereum, I think it was. They said that it made a transfer to our warm wallet. What is a warm wallet? About 1 hour ago. It appears that the specific transaction was musked, so they fell for a phishing scam. All the signers saw the musked UI, so the fake wallet website, which showed the correct address, and the URL was from Safe, which is where they have their Ethereum virtual machine, right? I guess their funds as well. However, the signing message was to change the smart contract logic of their Ethereum cold wallet. I don't know exactly what that means, but it just resulted in the hacker taking control of that specific Ethereum cold wallet that they was signed. And they transferred all the ETH in the cold wallet to this unidentified address. He's saying it was just that wallet. Obviously, they diversify and have a bunch of different wallets for different assets and stuff like that. But anyways, they said that rest assured that all the other cold wallets are secure. All withdrawals are normal. So if people are scared out of their minds, you're free to withdraw. We understand and we're sorry kind of deal going on here. He said that he'll keep us posted with more. If anyone can help track the stolen funds, would be appreciated using Etherscan. CZ commented on this, and so a lot of other CEOs helping, wishing them the best of luck, right? CZ actually suggested you could probably halt withdrawals for a bit as just a standard safety precaution, because what does this mean? If the hacker has one, maybe they have another, one address, right? We don't want another $1 billion getting taken out, because that would affect, it would just make the situation worse, right? So that was CZ's suggestion. Fair. But it seems like they didn't do anything yet. Justin Sun also says that they've been monitoring it closely. They will do their best to assist their partners in tracking the relevant funds, providing all the support within their capabilities. Literally what it says right over here in a separate tweet as well is what he mentioned. Sure, so bros helping bros, practically. That's a good thing. Same thing with Mrs. BingX, Vivian Ling. She said that we extend our support as well. Always let us know if we can help. Obviously, BingX also fell to... They also got one of their hot wallets hacked before. This happened when I was in the United States, like back in October or September, I think. So yeah, similar kind of deal. They did pause withdrawals and managed to fix the issue. I don't remember what the outcome of that one was, but everything is fine now. All the wallets are safe. Safety precautions have been taken place, right? So yeah, although we didn't see as much support for BingX during that time. Everybody was just like, oh, it looks like BingX got hacked, and that was it. But yeah, since this is ByBit, ByBit is a bigger exchange, much bigger. So yeah, of course, people are willing to help them out, even MrCrypto.com. Chris says that our exchange, and same thing with Kraken, by the way, they both mentioned kind of the same thing. Like, we've not been impacted by this ByBit hack. Chris says that all the funds are safe. He's asking his cybersecurity team to reach out to ByBit as well to offer assistance in the investigation. In the meantime, their teams are also tracking the movement of the stolen funds. So everybody, literally hands on deck, looking for who this hacker is. Arkham, of course, compiled a list of ByBit hacker wallets. Of course, because like I mentioned, there's just been so many, like it just spreads like crazy from one wallet to the hacker wallet, and it just spreads like crazy. Some of them, of course, were linked to like decentralized exchanges or other wallets, stuff like that. So, huge wallet list. Finally, somebody using the Ethereum chain. That's pretty funny. And this is where Zach XBT comes into play. This guy went ham on this investigation. He's the one who mainly found all of these wallet addresses. I guess also took that Arkham challenge pretty seriously, although I'm not sure if he was doing it for that. Because who exactly is this guy? Zach XBT, scam survivor turned to 2D investigator. I don't know what else he does. But yeah, I guess. There are also people that are noticing, like, okay, seems like they're also bridging Ethereum to Solana wallets as well, via decentralized exchanges, I would assume, right? And then, of course, this just sparked a lot of discussions amongst the community about, okay, what's going to happen with all these funds? Who has it? And all that stuff. We know for sure that, like, the ByBit hacker can't sell the $1.45 billion Ethereum for USDC or USDT, none of that, because it will get frozen by Circle or Tether, right? So he just took $1.46 billion selling pressure from Ethereum. That could technically be something positive because, okay, maybe they're not going to sell it directly on the spot market. They can't sell it, right? They're being blacklisted by practically everyone. And of course, if ByBit would have to cover for that, if they're going to swallow that $1 billion loss, they're going to have to rebuy Ethereum, which means purchasing $1 billion worth of Ethereum again, right? So that could be good for the price of Ethereum and pump it up. This is the other one that made me kind of giggle as well. If this guy burns $1 billion, if the hacker, like, you can't sell it, you can't do anything, just send it to a burn address, right? That would kind of help, I guess, the price of Ethereum. Ethereum is an inflationary coin, right? It doesn't have a max supply, so token burning in this case would help. That would be pretty funny if they did do that, though. Like, stole from the rich to give to the poor. That would be like some Robin Hood stuff. And then, of course, this is just a meme. It's not official, but imagine if the ByBit hacker announced that I'm only going to sell Ethereum once this reaches $10,000. Once the price of Ethereum reaches 10,000. I don't know if that's ever going. It will happen eventually, sure. But it's going to take such a long time. Everybody's just going to forget about it and then be like, hey, remember the $1 billion that was stolen? Well, now that is, what, 5 times bigger? So $5 billion. Hey, that's actually not a bad return. You make $5 billion in, who knows, maybe a decade. That's worth the wait. And so Zach XBT, of course, doing all the hard work and figured out who the culprit, who the hacker is in this whole scenario. So congratulations to Zach XBT at 7 o'clock UTC, which is 2 p.m. today in Eastern Standard Time. Wow, I've already memorized the time zone difference between UTC and EST. So Zach XBT submitted definitive proof that this attack on ByBit was performed by the Lazarus Group. If you don't know who the Lazarus Group is, it's from North Korea, basically. North Korea is responsible for the $1.4 billion hack of ByBit, according to Zach XBT. More information on this. His submission included a detailed analysis of test transactions and connected wallets used ahead of the exploit, as well as multiple forensics graphs and timing analyses. The submission has been shared with the ByBit team in support of their investigation. So, of course, wishing them all the best. This comes from the Arkham Intel bounty thing that I mentioned earlier. Um, I think they were able to track this down by checking, I guess, like the history of other wallets where the funds flowed through, right? The hacker who attacked ByBit and stole $1.4 billion in assets appears to have received Ethereum from Binance before as gas fees. So I guess maybe that's one of the ways they were able to do that. It's crazy, man. How does Binance allow hackers, but then Binance will not approve my account, a legal citizen of a valid, unrestricted country? And I guess, whatever. I'm never going to be able to use Binance, but they'll allow hackers to use it. Sure, buddy. So most likely North Korea hacker ByBit is now the 14th largest Ethereum holder in the world. That's how much Ethereum has been taken, guys. They hold roughly 0.42% of the total supply, which, you know, if that gets burned, it's gonna do something to the price, right? That's more than Fidelity, that's more than Vitalik, and 2 times more than what the Ethereum Foundation holds, which is just crazy. Yeah, so they've had some USDT, some Binance, and all this Ethereum. 499,000 Ethereums. I want to calculate exactly the amounts. 499.395. Don't put the dot. 499,395 times the price of Ethereum, which is 2,680. Yeah, it's $1.33 billion, almost $1.4 billion. Sure, makes sense. That's crazy work. North Korea, man, what are you doing? This is the final statement from Ben, CEO of ByBit, says that since the hack of 10 hours ago, ByBit has experienced the most number of withdrawals that we have ever seen. Of course, fair enough. Your exchange got hacked, people are scared they're going to withdraw their money, they don't want another FTX situation. He had a total number of more than 350,000 withdrawals requests so far, around 2,100 withdrawal requests left to be processed. Over 99.994% of withdrawals have been completed. He's saying, you know, if they completed, let us know if there's an issues, whatever. Although we've been hit with the worst hack possibly in the history of any medians, like banks, crypto, or finance, but all ByBit functions and products remain functional. The whole team had been awake all night to process and answer client questions and concerns. All hands on deck. Rest assured, we are here with you. Yeah, really good job. Very well handled. Here's an overview of how this was handled, and I don't know, it's just very professionally done, which is good. They delivered a masterclass in crisis communications after experiencing the largest hack in crypto history. Is this really the largest hack? I think it is. The situation is still live. They've already succeeded in calming the markets. Immediate and personal response. I don't think I'm going to be reading all this. It's a big list of stuff, but I'll just summarize what I can. Gave fast, transparent follow-ups. Literally, that was the point of yesterday's post as well, was to be fully transparent with the community, even when it comes to like liquidations. And of course, when it comes to hacks, they had to be transparent to make sure people feel safe with their funds. He did a live stream answering a lot of people's questions, stayed composed and professional under pressure, as a CEO should be. That's very well done. It was good use of graphics, good live stream management as well. Gave clear timelines, numbers, plans. They gave all the details of what the cold wallets and the amounts that were taken, etc. And yeah, thanks of course to Zach XBT for solving the big puzzle. Addressing the hackers strategically, ByBit assured the hackers were watching and emphasized how hard it would be for the hackers to cash out their stolen funds, inviting them to the negotiating table. That's also smart. Looking at your hacker in the eye saying, look, we got you. You can't do anything with the funds. Nobody's going to accept it. You might as well just negotiate giving it back to us. Also, he leveraged the industry support where he had the help of CZ, Justin Sun from Tron. I don't know who, well, this is from Binance, I guess. BitGet, of course, as well. BitGet, another big exchange. And yeah, good stuff. And of course, it just reinforces ByBit's strength. They also reiterated, don't worry, guys, your assets are all one-to-one backed. No need to worry. And yeah, overall, very well handled by ByBit. Congratulations for them. Seems like 3,000 Bitcoin has just been transferred from an unknown wallet to ByBit. Possibly to, what, sell? Maybe. Um, and also it seems like Binance and BitGet deposited over 50,000 Ethereum into ByBit's cold wallets. So I guess it's kind of, they're recovering and Binance is helping out there. So good for Binance. Binance also spoke on Coinbase. Coinbase also had an issue, of course, with the Securities Exchange Commission under Gary Gensler. Now that that guy's gone and everyone is pro-crypto in the U.S. administration, especially the Securities Exchange Commission, now they've undone whatever they were suing Coinbase and XRP for, right? Today, the Securities Exchange Commission took an important step forward in dropping its lawsuit against Coinbase. This should be good news for Coinbase, but it seems like today's news overshadowed or like just had more weight in the market and ended up dropping the price of Coinbase further. Well. Although, yeah, they're saying that this decision is good for developments in the long term, I guess, good for the industry, encouraged by the improved sentiment from the US regulators, which creates a path forward for the industry to flourish. Good stuff for the future, guys. Take this opportunity as a possible gift to purchase assets at a discount. All right, moving on to bigger things. Kanye West apparently will launch a token. I don't think we need any more of those. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried has asked for a pardon from U.S. President Donald Trump. I think I recall his parents asking Trump to pardon their son, Sam Bankman-Fried. And now he himself is asking for a pardon, which I don't think he deserves it. He deliberately, as the CEO of FTX, did, I guess, the stealing of his users, his customers, his assets to party at the Bahamas with a bunch of women. So, yeah, no. Yeah, he can stay in jail for the fraud he's committed. Sean Diddy Combs, who's also in the same jail where Sam Bankman-Fried is apparently. I think they're like right next to each other, or maybe even in the same cell or something. His lawyer, Sean Diddy Combs' lawyer, quits the sex trafficking case because I don't know what he found, but he's just saying, under no circumstances can I continue. That just looks bad for P. Diddy, and he's probably not going to get out of jail anytime soon. Here we also have to talk about Apple news and the UK. I shared this news a couple days ago, maybe last week, I don't remember. But the UK government was asking Apple to allow the government backdoor access to customers' data, which would be a terrible thing to do. It's a breach of everybody's privacy. We don't want the government looking at our text messages, our photos, or whatever, right? Seems like free speech is completely gone in the UK. And seems like they complied, right? Well, Mr. Who's the Boss here says that Apple has been forced by the UK government to remove its advanced protections, which keeps your messages and photos encrypted, which means that both the UK government and Apple will technically have access to your most private stuff in the UK. But that also compromises anyone who communicates with UK citizens. That is also true, because, like, I don't know, if you send a message to somebody in the UK, well, the government has access to that person's phone via Apple. I guess they have access to whatever you do with a UK citizen. Their intention is presumably so that if the government suspects someone of criminal activity, they can find out for sure. It's similar to what France detained Pavel Durov, CEO of Telegram, for. Telegram, of course, also a messaging service that works with your phone number. And there's been illegal activities, of course, because everything is anonymous, encrypted, on Telegram. Nobody knows who you are. But France didn't like that. They're saying, look, there's a lot of criminal activity going on your platform. We need to know who these criminals are, so give us access to that. And I mean, he was technically forced to comply so that he could get out of jail, because as soon as he landed in France, he just got arrested until they obeyed him. Seems like UK is doing the similar thing, but to Apple at a much larger scale, which I think that's just going a little too far. Sure, an app is one thing, but a whole OS, like a operating service, like everybody's Apple phones, breaching privacy like that, I don't think that's any good. To protect children from abusive behavior, but for the vast majority of the population, to open up a backdoor like this feels like a massive violation and a dangerous precedent to set. Yeah. Not a lot of people are happy, not even Elon Musk, right? Government now has access to citizens' messages and camera roll. This is the biggest breach of privacy in Western civilization has ever seen. Britain is in big trouble. Speaking of Europe, I guess, there's been another knife attack in Berlin. Of course, the same common suspects. It's unsafe place, Europe. And when JD Vance says something about it, European leaders lose their minds. Like, you don't got to look too far. Elon Musk is saying that only the AfD, this is a political party from Germany, can save Germany. Which, yeah, maybe that would be the case, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about what their politics are like. But the lady, the leader of the AfD, I forget her name, seems like she could do a great job, although, I don't know. Based off of what Elon Musk is saying, at least. Surely Elon Musk does his own research. And then we got some Trump news as well. Trump is announcing that the state of Maine will no longer receive federal funding until they follow along with his executive order to keep men out of women's sports. That's pretty huge. It's apparently Maine was like one of the few states that didn't want to continue with that bill that was signed, keeping men out of women's sports. And Trump snapped at the lady, the governor of Maine. I want to actually play this clip because it's pretty funny. It's pretty savage.
Has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Are you not going to comply with it?
So yes, yeah, are you going to comply with it? She said nope. Only for state and federal laws. But this is a federal law, though.
Well, we are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding. Every state.
She said, "See you in court, then."
I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor, because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
Wow, very savage. Yeah, he put her in her place. There you go. Yeah, nice, cool stuff, Trump. Moving on. Last bit of news that I've got. It's just a little wholesome news to end it all off. Trump is making a new national garden for heroes. There will be Kobe Bryant, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Muhammad Ali, and I don't know who the rest of these people are. Aretha Franklin, Billie Holiday, Coretta Scott, King, Frederick Douglass, Jackie Robinson. I'm assuming that they're all... Are they African Americans? Something. I saw... Yeah. I don't remember exactly who... Well, they're not white. None of these people are white. I guess that's the whole point of it. Yeah, there you go. Trump isn't racist. Confirmed. Congratulations. Overall... Bitcoin looking fine, steady, rising up a little bit from that little dip. Now that it's practically been resolved, except that North Korea still has the funds. Okay, everybody knows that North Korea has the funds. What are we going to do next? Probably negotiate getting it back. People were also proposing the idea of, you know, North Korea giving back the funds and explaining how they did the hack and how to prevent it, which would be like the white hat hacker thing to do. And ByBit would compensate like, hey, thanks for giving us that information and for giving us our money back. Here's a small portion as like a goodwill thank you, which I don't know. I don't know how much they're going to give. I think they said, I saw a tweet that said $4,000. I don't think that's just going to make them laugh and say like, nah, get out of here. We're staying with the $1 billion. I don't know. Can't they just make their own exchange in North Korea? And isn't it? Wait, is crypto banned in North Korea? Probably, right? Is crypto banned in North Korea? Is crypto trading legal? Okay, come on. I want North Korea. You know what? I'm asking AI because which AI should I ask? I'll use ChatGPT. I should have asked Grok, actually. Yes, cryptocurrency is technically banned. So I guess they have to override their own rules, create a exchange in North Korea, legalize crypto for that one transaction, so that they could get rid of their Ethereum and I don't know, use it for military equipment. What does North Korea even do with money? There you go. Oh, it just said there at the end of that sentence, the government actively exploits it for financial gain. Yeah, there you go. They're probably going to do something with that money. But yeah. Bitcoin will stay in this range for a while longer at this pace. Between 93,000 and 100,000. We're not going past that or below that. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed that little brief analysis, that all that information that's been going on. Never keep all your eggs in one basket, I guess, is the moral of the story. And yeah, that's why I've been trying to open other exchanges as well. Exchanges that are not likely to get hacked. But at the end, it just goes to show, like, literally anyone can get hacked. All it takes is just one mistake. They fell for a phishing scam. And yeah, boom, $1 billion gone. Why did they take Ethereum? Why didn't you just take like Bitcoin? I mean, maybe it's a good thing that they took Ethereum because nobody really cares about Ethereum, and Ethereum is already so down in price. Like, how much more can you impact the price? Literally, 2,800 to 2,600. That's not a big impact for Ethereum. We've seen a drop larger than that for. We've seen a $1,000 drop. Okay, from what was this, 3,400 to $2,000, $1,400 gone in practically 1 or 2 days due to a fear of a tariff that never actually happened. It was mainly all liquidations, of course, but yeah, stuff like that can happen. And this hack directly on Ethereum literally just looks like a regular dip, or maybe, I don't know, bad economic data or good economic data, I guess, that would reduce the chances of a rate cut. Speaking of rate cuts, actually, oh, I do want to talk about that. We were getting some economic data. I actually want to check, like, what else we got next. Look at this. We have a 66% chance of a rate cut, a second rate cut, coming in October of this year. That'll be pretty good, won't it? 2 rate cuts are back in game. No more chance of a possible rate hike, depending on how, you know, the economic data comes out. I want to see what's happening next week as well, of large impact for the US. That's not important. That's not important. Wednesday, Fed speech, no one cares about that guy. Here's something important. GDP growth rate, that'll be important. And also for Canada, I guess, on Friday. So Thursday's going to be an impactful day. And so will Friday, I guess. Core PC inflation, that's also going to be important. Very important, actually. Okay, Thursday, Friday, big days. Friday will be the bigger day. To keep out for to keep an eye out for next week. I guess you get the idea. Yeah, that's all. I'm gonna try to refine working on this darn strategy, making it work, making it make me money so that I don't have to trade anymore. Yeah, I'll try my best, I guess. I heard, I saw a video. Apparently Claude AI is not that great at coding and it makes a lot of mistakes. ChatGPT is fine. DeepSeek is really good apparently, and I'm thinking of trying DeepSeek as well, alternating at least between the best, which seems to be kind of ChatGPT, I might use for debugging or whatever. Grok, which seems to never make a coding mistake, which is fascinating. And DeepSeek as well. DeepSeek can make coding mistakes, but it gets the job done, and it's free. So that's decent. I'm going to try them out, and I'll give you guys, of course, updates on how those things go. But yeah, that's it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe. And what will I do tomorrow? I might see you tomorrow. All right.